knock knock is Knuckles.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Sage 2018 video, and this time I have Sonic All-Stars, a game that's supposed to take a lot of the elements from the Sonic Advance games and kind of bring them into, make them a bit new, a bit more modern. It's basically as if somebody said, hey, I want to make my own Sonic Advance game, so that's what we got. Now, I'm aware, I have a save file right here and you're going to see a lot of things on it, but I kind of just want to start with a fresh file so I can go over a couple of things. Like how you unlock Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and I think one other character. Oh, just 3 characters to start. Now, this demo has quite a few things that I wanted to bring up, which is why I started a save file. One, I believe it works in the Sonic Worlds engine, which, you know what, let's just get into it. Let me just say this. The Sonic Worlds engine, I like it. I really do enjoy it. It's a very solid engine. A lot of really good fan games are made in it, so I have absolutely no issues with it. However, I might as well just address what I'm probably going to title this video is the fact that this game is a bit of a mixed bag for me. Which automatically does... Which, I know to some would sound like hate, but hear me out. I want to get over the good stuff. I want to talk about the good stuff right now. The fact that this is running on a really good game engine, which I know a lot of people do use, the Sonic Worlds engine. So that's pretty solid. I like it. There's also a couple things that you are noticing. The fact that we have shields, a shield, the fact that we have the homing attack, and the fact that we have a dash. Now I know there was like a little sparkle that went over that. I'm gonna get into that in a bit. I would rather just continue talking about some of the highlights of the game. The other thing is the fact that... Okay, maybe that's not so much of a highlight, that's just me making a mistake. You have this little weird... I don't know, I guess it's supposed to act like an extra jump or something? It's very interesting. Oh. That's me making a mistake. I don't want to go through that. Let's hop... And I'm going through it anyways. You know what? Let's not even bother. I know it would be easy to talk about it, but it's just something I'm not willing to get into yet. However, so yeah, that is a highlight of this. The fact that it's using a really good game engine, so it does, it feels very good to control. And if you're using an Xbox 360 controller, it has support right away. Like, it automatically supports those controllers, which I think is amazing. On top of that, this game does actually a pretty good job of incentivizing exploration. On top of that, the levels are pretty fast. Not in a bad way, though. It's like you can breeze through the levels if you want to, if you are very familiar with the level design, but it's a lot of fun. You are ranked on it, so the better you do, the higher rank you'll get. Not the point of me showing this off. But on top of that, like I said, another highlight that I would give to this game... I don't know why I'm going back into the same level. Whatever, we'll just keep going through. I know... I'll show more of it in a bit. I just want to keep going with the same thing. But yeah, it's where 2 runs of the same level don't really have to be the same. I know I'm making mistakes. Right now I don't care. I would rather commentate than care about the mistakes I'm making. But yeah, there's enough paths where each level, or at least every new run of the same level, is not going to feel the same. So I can take this lower path if I want to the entire time, or I can go up and take a higher path the entire time, or alternate between the two. It really just depends on what you want to do. So if I don't want to go down here, I can just go up here. And... oh, well, I mean, that's going to take me the same way no matter what. Instead of going up on the rail and just grind... I can... Okay, maybe this is not a good example, because I feel like yeah, it's not a good example. Oops! Okay, yeah, actually, this is a good example. I can go down here and do that. Like, each character feels very good and feels very unique to each other. Is there anything else? And one thing I did notice is that there are like bottomless pits in this level, so that's a very interesting thing. On top of that, there's a ton of playable characters. So you have Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Amy, I believe you have Motobug, Silver. I think Shadow is playable, but we'll get into that in a bit. And you have some characters that you would never believe would be in it, like Mario. One of the other things is that the audio is taken directly from the what am I trying to say? Oh, from like a Game Boy Advance version of it, and each has their own remix, which is awesome. And it doesn't sound horrible. It sounds nice. If you're a fan of GBA sound fonts or like the GBA sound of the advanced games, and this is something that you would be okay. That would be nice to listen to. The graphics are pretty good. It's all advanced. It's like all the graphics from Advance. I'm pretty sure the entire thing uses assets from that whole game, with a few exceptions. But on top of that, not only do you have like levels here, and you have the Chow counter. With these, you can unlock Supersonic or the super abilities if you have all the Chow from the first, second, and third acts of Sunset Island. But on top of that, you have a central hub that you can go through. What that does is that it allows you to change the characters that you're using. I didn't mean to jump into that, but you know what? We'll go through it anyways. So it goes through all of your playable characters. So you have Motobug, Amy, Knuckles, Tails, Sonic, but you can also change their colors. So you can play as Red Hot Sonic and Blue Cold Tails if you really want to. That can be an option for you. But it even throws in like a few color palette swaps that are very interesting. Here's what I mean. So you have like yellow Sonic, you have a green Sonic, you have a Werehog color scheme Sonic, which is really cool. I don't know if some people would call that Dark Sonic. I don't think I would. But on top of that, you go all the way and you have Cold Steel. Very interesting choice. For Tails, it's just like all the different colors that you can pick for him. So there you go. For Knuckles, you have a blue Knuckles. You have, I want to say this is Wrinkles, but I doubt it is. Yellow Knuckles, then you start going into stuff like, I don't know, Hyper Knuckles, or Super Knuckles. So yeah, you have like, oh, and you even have like an older colored choice for him for Sonic 3 and Knuckles when he was a bit more pink than red. So there you go. For Amy, you have different, the different colors just change her outfits for the most part. So you have like different dresses and stuff, and then you also have the what people would use as a Super Amy. Not canon though. Motobug, you have a blue Motobug, yellow Motobug, green Motobug, purple Motobug, a black Motobug, a gray Motobug, and I want to say this is like the war paint Motobug, just because its face is red. It's either angry or embarrassed. But you also have like even more colors, and you have the golden Motobug, which is something interesting. Now, you can pick all kinds of pairings. So if you want like Motobug and Sonic, you can boost all you want with Motobug. There you go. But I want to get into some more things. Like Knuckles plays like usual. He does his. We'll get into those actually. So I'm going to come back with my other save file, and we'll continue on with this. So now that we have Knuckles, we can go into... We actually have more than just Sunset Island. We can go into stages like this. We can go into a test zone, which I actually did go through earlier. We can go through Pumpkin Hill, and we can even go in through the original Green Hill, which is a mostly faithful recreation of the original Green Hill, but we'll get into that in a bit. I want to go into Pumpkin Hill because I've actually never seen this before, and I want to see what it's about. I had a feeling they would use this music, and I'm happy they did. So, unlike the other... Okay. Unlike the other levels, which... Wow. That was cheap. Oh. Okay. I was like, wait, he's... I realized what I tried doing. So yeah, they give you a 2D Emerald Hunt. Kind of reminds me of when I was talking to Garrett64 and DaveAce, and they brought up Knuckles Emerald Hunt, and okay, that's getting really obnoxious at this point. So Knuckles can glide, he can punch. Let's see if I can actually hit something. I mean, I could eventually. And even gliding actually allows him to hurt enemies. It's just... Those ghosts, on the other hand, are getting pretty annoying, which It's something that happens, I guess. Now the question is, do I get like an uppercut? No. Just a few punches, a few jabs, and that's it. Let's try to find the emeralds here. So I guess for those ghosts, you have to kind of just roll. You basically have to roll with it. Huh. It's actually tough. I don't think I found I haven't found a single emerald yet. That's weird. Wait. It's in here. Huh? Okay. How do I do this? Oh, that's what he's summoning. Okay, he can summon rocks from the sky? That's so bizarre. Knuckles, where is this emerald at? It's somewhere here? Wait, so it's down here. Okay, that was actually weird. And it actually resets the music, so that kind of sucks. Oh well. You know, I feel like I don't get a shot with, like, actually trying to make it. I feel like I just got cheap shotted again. And then with this one, it's actually more... right there. So it turns rainbow, although the detection's a little off on it. I feel like it should be turning red as you get closer to it, but it doesn't. And those ghosts, I hate them. How many of those ghosts have I ran into so far? And the last one is down here. Am I starting all the way at the beginning? There's no way I'm starting at the beginning. You've got to be... Okay, well, you know what? Screw it. Let's get right into the negatives of this. One, that's pretty obnoxious. I spent all this time just trying to get to it. And now I have to start all over just because the game's like, nope. The ghost is going to appear and just push me off. And that's not the only negative I have about this game. I have quite a few things I can talk about this game. I have quite a few things I could say about this game. This is going to be one of them, so we'll slowly get into them as we go along. And they switch places, so they're not going to be in the same areas as before. So it's kind of like Adventure 2 in a way, where even if you die, you have to start all over. So I have to be very careful of my movements, just because I can get pushed into something or pushed off of something. I don't get how that does damage if the other time I tried it, nothing happened. Oh, that's pretty annoying. Like, I feel like I should at least get rid of those enemies, and then there's gonna be a ghost that'll pop up and just knock me off a platform, which is something I'm not looking forward to at all. I should be able to at least hit or get rid of those. I shouldn't have to be at the mercy of them all the time. And if I go here, nothing, of course. This game is a bit bottomless pit heavy, or not really heavy, but it's just, you would never expect it at at specific points, yet they're still there. Okay, so that's obviously not a point that I can get to. And it's right here. Done. And with that, you can unlock Shadow. There's going to be multiple ways of unlocking characters. This is one of them. Another one is just going through all the levels, which I did already. So there you go. I have Shadow. Another method of unlocking characters, and this is honestly my least favorite, and we might as well get into it because I'm going to bring up this character right now. Samari. Who appears to just... Okay then, that's something. He has a lot of control with his jump. Okay then. So, in this game, there are multiple ways that you can unlock characters. So, Samari can, like I said earlier, you can either beat all the levels, or you can beat specific levels and start unlocking characters that way. You get Tails and Knuckles right off the bat. But on top of that, you can also do the special stages, or the bonus stages like I avoided earlier. And there's a reason why I avoided that earlier. You can also Goomba Stomp him, which is great. There's a reason why I avoided it earlier. Because, well, they suck. And I died to that. Are you kidding me? Okay. The special stages, or the bonus stage, the pinball, sucks. There's no way to sugarcoat it. There's no way I'm gonna sugarcoat it because I don't want to. It is the least playable thing I have ever gone through in this entire game, which really sucks because let me just go over this. The level design, pretty decent. Some things are incredibly obnoxious, like how there's sometimes a spring that kind of pushes you back into a set of spikes or something. Which, I will always say this, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. It's just a way of forcing you to try and remember so you don't hit it. That's kind of what a lot of things, a lot of poor levels do. Like, really bad levels tend to do that. They figure they can up the difficulty by just adding like a spring to some spikes or adding a spring into spike traps or whatever. So if you hit that, you automatically go into spikes and be like, oh well, you just had to get good at it. Man, Mario's not the best at controlling a level like this. Then again, I am playing as Mario for the first time, so it's like I just have to like adjust to his playstyle. Anyways, which is incredibly obnoxious because it's like, oh well, guess you got to figure that out, or you lose all the rings that you have, which you need 50 rings to get into these special stages, and sometimes it's very difficult to hang on to them. Reason being is that there are times where, like right there, where this game the developer thought it was great to just have 3 enemies right near each other. Which is really dumb. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's stupid. Some of the enemy placement is just there to surprise you, to hit you with a trap, and it kind of reminds me of Sonic 2 in a way. This shield, I think, actually is for collecting rings, but I don't think Samari gets that ability. But yeah. That was my fault. On top of that, there are areas that do have bottomless pits, and nearby would be enemies that the moment they hit you, you get knocked back into that pit. I've had it happen a couple of times, and none of it was fun. The bonus stages, which I keep trying to get to, but for some reason I can't get to it. Let's just say this. I have never gone through a bonus stage so horrendous. Out of all of the Sonic games I've played, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic CD, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, hell, even because here's the thing, it's a pinball stage that happens to be, oh my gosh, I don't want to go through this. Anyways, what I was saying is the fact that I've never gone through special stages that were so bad before until I played this. I thought, well, maybe the ones in Sonic, screw that enemy. Those enemies are never good. I figured maybe something like Sonic 2's forcing you to remember how to do this, or Sonic 1's difficult to control special stages. No, these somehow managed to be even less controllable than the Sonic 1 stages. And that's saying a lot because I've gone through a lot of really bad pinball stuff before. I've played Sonic Spinball, which, while some of you might think it's a pretty fun pinball game, I say that it's not as great as you remembered. And I believe that. I believe that it's just very flawed. With this, and I don't even get it, because it's going to be tough to even get to one of those, because... Oh, okay, cool. He's got like a double jump. I actually like that. it's going to be tough to even get to one of these stages because holding onto your rings has always been difficult because of the design of the levels or the enemy placement or something coming up to surprise you. I really like that. Anyways, I swear anytime I go through it, it always felt like there's a moment of delay whenever I hit one of the flippers. Because getting to that has been just trying to use the flippers properly. Just trying to get them to work. Doesn't work. And it's been very infuriating because here's the thing. If you want to unlock some of the characters, you have to do certain tasks. To unlock Samari, or Mario, or whatever you want to call him, I don't care. To do that, you have to actually go to the very top slot machine. And it's really tough to do that when the controls just suck for it. When the movement really sucks for it. If I can find a checkpoint, I can show you what I mean, but I haven't been able to find one yet. I don't think I'm going to be able to find one. Yeah, I really don't think I'm going to find one. But I've never had I've never had to deal with controls that bad before. Really? No checkpoint? This is a pretty lengthy Oh. Oh boy. Ah, here we go. Let's show exactly what I mean. Welcome to the special stages. This is the one that I quit out of earlier. But as you can see, you better enjoy just getting bounced around and having a very difficult time dealing with just bouncing on every possible little thing because there's bumpers everywhere. On top of that, it's a little difficult to steer where you're supposed to go, which I'm okay with that. The problem is that these flippers kind of suck. When you land on them, you have to wait sometimes you have to wait a second, other times you don't have to wait a second, just so that you can actually get flung up in the air. And I actually found that you can hit this top point and just continue hitting the top areas, but it only takes you so far, because you could potentially screw up and go really fast into the bottom part and end up failing this. This is probably one of the worst pinball mini games that's Sonic related that I've ever gone through. Worse than Adventure, worse than Generations, because those were actually they were fun. I would probably say worse than Spinball, because at least with that you can launch off the flippers as soon as you can. With this, sometimes it works and sometimes it just doesn't. And making it to the top is really, really tedious because there are just times where it just takes so long and it's so annoying. And by then you might as well just you know what, Samari or Mario, whatever you want to say. It says Samari in the game's files, but still, it's just not worth going for. And you can and if you actually keep going through this, you can make it. It's just, it could be the fact that I was playing in full screen mode, because I feel like this game just doesn't feel right with its controls. Plus, there's just so many of these bumpers that make it obnoxious. So it's just a hope you don't get knocked. Hopefully, you don't get knocked into the very bottom. Thankfully, you don't have to keep getting knocked into that slot machine. Whenever you go through that 3 times, you're basically done with that. It'll disappear. So good in some ways, bad in others, because that's your only way of getting out. Wow. Talk about not being able to steer yourself. I swear I've been able to do that. And here's the other downside. How about that? Does exactly like Sonic 2. Not a single ring in sight. And you have to deal with that for however long you go. I don't get why that's such a good idea. To this day, I don't get it. I played Sonic 2 and went through the special stages and never understood it. I don't get why that has to be a thing. Edgelord, yes. At least Shadow played decent. Now that I have this taken care of, I actually want to go through one more character. One of the... I hate whenever that happens. Whatever, I'm going to go through as one of the other playable characters, but I'm not going through the zone. I'll be back. And finally, we also have Silver, who can use this... who can just grab items and then do like an air dash, which I didn't even know. Which doesn't seem to be useful. I don't know. I haven't fought this boss before, so I'm not entirely sure. Oh, you can deflect projectiles, which is... that's more useful than it should be. I appreciate it. How do I hit this enemy? Oh, I have to hit it from the side. Wow, that's... okay, I think I know how I can fight this thing. So yeah, basically, I'm kind of mixed on the game. Like, on one hand, it controls very well. Oh boy. Holy crap, this boss is very aggressive. Wow, I've never fought a boss that overly aggressive before. Okay, well, that's done. That was very weird. I didn't think I was going to be able to get... I don't know. I didn't think I was going to be able to actually do that, but apparently I got a perfect bonus, which I guess means I didn't die, and I got my S rank. Anyways, with Silver you get this air dash. You also get his telekinesis, which can either deflect projectiles, or it can throw specific items and make those projectiles for you. Or just take out enemies like that. That's actually very useful. I like that. And it does the same homing as the homing attack. And even the dash does damage. Wow. Silver's pretty powerful. Alright, I'll give him that. So... that's very interesting to have a character that overpowered. But yeah, the whole point is... oops. The whole point is just... It's done on a solid engine, but the game built around it, the level's design is pretty decent to actually really good, and the enemy placement's just a gripe that I have with it. The amount of potential like ways of taking damage just by the level design itself is something I have a problem with, and none of the stuff that I'm doing on screen is actually what I mean. So, like, if you're saying that, oh, because I'm going into a spike or something on purpose, no, that's not what I'm actually talking about. I actually mean the areas where you really wouldn't be able to see it coming just because of the high speed that you're going at, which tends to be a problem with games, or with specific Sonic fan games. Some of them that use like the old resolution or something, or just the fact that you're going really fast, so you kind of have to figure out a way to be able to see ahead, and this game doesn't really do that. It does an okay job, but it still has its flaws. And that's death right there. Yeah, it is. Also, it feels like pausing never works. Seriously, I'm hitting pause like so many times. I'm trying to pause it just so I can go into another menu, and then I'm just going to die again. Oh, there we go. So the pause works whenever it wants to. That's a thing you should know. I wanted to get into something before I actually play as like Cream and then I show off the super forms, and that's the Throwback challenge. These are well, I mean, the missions basically. There are 4 missions here. Technically, there's a 5th one, but it doesn't work, so it's been locked off. And a lot of these are just like different challenges that the game has for you. This one in particular actually unlocks Classic Sonic, so we're going to try this one out. Yes. It basically means we cannot use a spin dash, or we can't really use a spin dash or anything, so I'm just going to play Sonic 1 style. You basically play it like it's Sonic 1, so if you spin dash or anything, you fail the mission. And once you beat the mission, you can unlock Classic Sonic, like I said earlier. So I'm just going to go I had the urge to drop dash. Although for some reason I have an insta shield, which is really cool. And then once you complete the level, there you go. It's done. And that's how you complete it. It's a very quick 30-35 second run. If you know what you're doing, you got this. And now to take a look at Overpowered the Rabbit. Let's go into the central hub. There's extra levels we can go through. So she has your normal abilities like flying and being able to use her chow, cheese. So we'll go through the test zone. Because it has, there we go. It has like 8-bit music, an 8-bit rendition of Tropical Resort. So not only can you fly around, very similar to Tails, which I mean should be easy to do. She also has the spin dash, but one of her other abilities is commanding Cheese to just hit everything that it sees. Get near an enemy, there you go. But on top of that, she also okay, there you go. There's the shield. She also has this ability. She can throw Cheese or have Cheese attack forward or attack like that, where it just spins around her. It's not the most practical compared to other things, and also it seems like Cheese will also attack other objects, which is interesting. But the point is that she's overpowered just like in the advanced games, so if you like the overpowered characters, there you go. So now we have Classic Sonic. We might as well go to Green Hill, like we did before. So Classic Sonic actually has the Insta Shield for Sonic 3, but also has a drop dash, but you have to hit a second button for that instead, which I'm fine with that. There are times where I just jump and I don't want to use the Insta Shield, or not the Insta Shield, but I don't want to use the drop dash, so that's actually pretty useful. And then so yeah, you have the drop dash there, but the Insta Shield, obviously, reasons why it's great is because it just gives you a little bit more range for your attack. Even though it's very small, it's still really convenient to have. At this point, I want to try and see if I can get a super form going. So yeah, a very faithful recreation of Green Hill Zone. I believe it's the same thing we played earlier, so it isn't too much different. That, on the other hand, really sucks. And also, the button that you use for the, wow, Sonic, you're really just putting in work with me. Okay. Remember what I was saying about sometimes you get surprised with a hit? That's what I meant. I'm the most prepared for that attack, yet I still took damage. When I really shouldn't. And there we go. We have our classic Super Sonic. So if you really wanted to see the super forms, there you go. Works. I like the music for this. I know I'm guessing advanced music. But yeah, you basically just go through and destroy the levels now with your invincibility. But it ends as soon as the level's over. It's got a little pose for forces. Oh man, that's gonna rub some salt in the wound for some people. Just saying. And then finally we have Amy, who actually has this little hammer attack, which is fine. But she also has like a stronger hammer attack, which just annihilates everything. I believe we have an extra level that we haven't gone through. If not, then I'll just go through a level just for the sake of going through one. Went through that. Sewage City. Which I believe this area isn't complete, but there is something somewhat playable here. So we have Act 1 playable. The rest of the acts are actually not playable, so we'll just dive in here and see what's in here. So, I really don't have much else to say, except there's, I mean, the graphics are really good. Okay, I keep never seeing that enemy. But yeah, Amy does not have a spin dash of her own. See? But she can roll, so each character has their own strengths and then their own trade-offs, so that's pretty much what I'm getting at. I thought that was a bottomless pit. There's a stop sign. Oh. That's why. It kind of reminds me of the little platform things for City Escape. Okay, so detecting what direction you... So whatever direction you go at is what direction you're going at full speed with. At least you can use that for some momentum. Probably not practical, but it's there. That's going to be an enemy spawning out, I can already tell. And there you go. So Sonic is not the only one with his own super form. I just wanted to bring this out because she's faster. Oh! There was more to this. Okay, cool. Basically, they're invincible, and I don't think they can breathe under... Yeah, no, they can't breathe underwater, but they are invincible. Faster speed, probably higher jump, invincibility. Usual. I feel like I don't think there's anything beyond this point. And there's a Chow. I have already explained how the Chow work, and wow, there's nothing here. Okay. So I feel like we're at a point where I don't think... Oh, you have a peel out. Okay, cool. So you can take off that way. Unfortunately, that was a dead end for me. I could take the higher path and get to the end of this, but I feel like I've shown off everything that I can show. I don't think I've missed anything. I know there's more super forms, but on the live stream that I'm going to be doing for Sage 2018, I'll show off more if people want to see more, you know, whatever characters they want to see. So there you go. There's plenty of playable characters. Each of them have a different feel to them. They each play very well, with maybe the exception of Mario. Yeah, even Motobug plays better because its dash takes out every enemy nearby. The Chows are actually very cool. I like the idea that you just find those and that's how you get your super form. I'm sure eventually they're going to bring in the emeralds at some point, but for now, it's actually nice. It really does force you to explore the level, which isn't all that bad if some of the parts of the level were not so... were just not so questionable in its designs. Most of the part, it's really cool, but there are just the parts that are really annoying that stick out the most. Like, sometimes you'll hit a spike that really shouldn't be there, or there's a bottomless pit that you can potentially get knocked into, and some of the enemies feel like that they can hit you from off screen. Like, they'll get their attack ready off screen, so once you run into them, you actually get hit by it. It's a mixed bag for me, but I'm still looking forward to what comes out for this game soon. To those who kind of say this is a bit of a scattered video compared to like the other ones where I would just completely trash the game or announce my concerns for the game or whatever, then if you think that this wasn't that great of an analysis on or of a look at the game, I don't know what to say. Like, I wanted to structure it, but with the way the events went during this recording, that's kind of, you know, it's kind of how things go. So anyways, let me know what you think about this fan game in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel by joining the Knux Club. I have that backwards, but who cares? Don't forget to click the bell icon so you can get notifications for new content. At this time, I want to give a huge shout out to my sponsors, the members of Knux Club Plus. You see the names on screen right now. And if you want to find out how to sponsor this channel, you can find out how to do so with the YouTube gaming link down below. And to my current sponsors, thank you very much. Your extra support is greatly appreciated. If you want to find me outside of YouTube, my Twitter, my Discord, my Sonic the Hedgehog Amino profile will all be linked down below. And with that said, I hope you have a wonderful and safe day, and I'll see you in the next Stage 2018 video.